All right, let's dive in. Today, we're talking about a material that is, and I mean this literally, all around you right now. It's holding our world together, from the clothes on your back to the very screen you're watching this on. It's a cornerstone of our civilization, and, well, we might be running out. So let me start with a little riddle for you. What could a t-shirt, a scoop of ice cream, and a high-def screen possibly have in common? I mean, they seem totally unrelated, don't they? You've got fashion, food, and technology. But they all share a secret, fundamental ingredient. Any guesses? The answer is cellulose. It's the structural backbone of every plant on Earth. It's the stuff that makes trees strong and cotton fibers soft. And get this, it is by far the most common organic compound on the entire planet. We use it for everything. It's a thickener in food, a fiber for textiles, even in those crystal clear films for electronics. It's the ultimate invisible workhorse. And this chart, wow, it really gives you a sense of just how widespread our dependency is. It's not just paper and cardboard under packaging. Look at textiles. We're talking fabrics like viscose and lyocell, or food and pharma, where it's used to stabilize all sorts of products. And that industrial slice, that covers everything from car tires to construction materials. We really are a cellulose-powered society. So if cellulose is everywhere, what's the problem? Well, our massive and constantly growing appetite for it is starting to run headfirst into the planet's finite resources. And when I say growing, I really mean it's accelerating. Just take a look at the projection for the pulp and paper market. That curve is steep and it's pointing upwards. By 2030, we're on track to demand way more than we do today. And this isn't just a stable demand, it's exploding, especially as the world tries to move to a bioeconomy and replace plastics with plant-based stuff. Okay. Now hold that thought about rising demand and look at this number. According to the UN, we lost a net total of 10 million hectares of forest every single year between 2015 and 2020. That's an area the size of South Korea, just gone, annually. You don't need to be an economist to see that a rising demand curve and a falling supply curve, well, they're heading for a collision. And this really breaks down why it's so complicated. It's not just one thing. You've got the surging demand from the new bioeconomy, which puts huge pressure on forests. But at the same time, we need that land for food, right? And then, on top of all that, climate change itself is threatening the health of the very forests we rely on. It's a perfect storm. So with a problem this big, the solution probably needs to be pretty radical. So what if we could get all the cellulose we need without cutting down a single tree? What if we could just grow it, not in a field, but in a lab? Let me introduce you to bacterial cellulose. Chemically, it's the same stuff you find in plants, but it's made by tiny microorganisms. The whole process is basically fermentation. You give certain kinds of bacteria some sugar water, and they spin that sugar into these incredibly fine, pure cellulose fibers. You know, it's kind of like brewing kombucha or beer, but instead of a drink, you end up with a high-tech biomaterial. And the difference between the two methods is just stunning. A tree takes decades to grow. It needs tons of land, and the cellulose it produces is all mixed up with other things like lignin. But in a lab, bacteria can produce ultra-pure cellulose in just a few days, in a tank, with zero soil. It is a complete game changer. And because it's grown in this completely different way, it has these unique, almost superpowered properties. The fibers create this ultra-fine nanostructure, which makes it unbelievably strong for its weight. It can hold a massive amount of water, which is perfect for things like medical wound dressings. And of course, it's highly biodegradable. So this isn't just a substitute for wood pulp. In many ways, it's a serious upgrade. Now, this all sounds like some kind of miracle material, right? So why isn't everything already made out of it? Well, because having an amazing idea in a petri dish is one thing, but making enough of it to supply a multi-trillion-dollar global economy, that is a whole other challenge. This is pretty much the roadmap to making it a reality. First, you've got to find a cheap and sustainable food source, the feedstock, for the bacteria. Using pure sugar is just way too expensive, so people are looking at using things like agricultural waste. Second, the bioreactors themselves, those big fermentation tanks, they need to get bigger and way more efficient. And third, you can actually engineer the bacteria to work faster and produce more. It is a huge scientific and engineering puzzle to solve. And this really gets to the heart of it. A forest, it pretty much grows for free, right? It's powered by the sun. A bioreactor, on the other hand, needs a building. It needs energy. It needs a constant supply of that feedstock. So the question is, can the technology ever get so good that the economics of a lab can actually beat the economics of a forest? That's the billion-dollar question right there.
But if we can solve that puzzle, the implications are huge, and they go way beyond just cellulose. We'd be looking at a future where so many of the materials we use aren't mined or harvested, but are grown to order. A future that is, in a word, biofabricated.
This quote just nails it. The key word here is decoupling. What does that mean? It means breaking the link between making stuff and using up our land. It means we could produce the materials for our modern world without competing for land we desperately need for food or for preserving vital ecosystems. It's a way to potentially have our cake and eat it too. Keep the economy going without destroying the environment. So as we look ahead, this is really the fundamental choice that's taking shape. Are we going to keep harvesting finite resources from a planet that's already under a ton of stress? Or are we going to pioneer a new path, one where our factories look more like breweries and our most important raw materials are literally grown in labs? The answer to that question is going to define the world we build for generations to come.